Welcome to the Mum Style Business Podcast.
Hello, we're back. Welcome. I'm so excited about this show. All right. The reason that I'm so excited about this show is that I feel like what we're going to talk about today, keeps people stuck more than kind of anything else, right? Because when I talked about last week on the show, and I've been talking about this on social media, when I talk about using social media to get sales and making offers, what I hear is people telling me that, they don't have a big enough audience, or that their engagement is low, or so many different things related to that, right? Guess what? It doesn't matter. So today, what we're going to be talking about is talking about staying the course. And actually, when we come up with our strategy and we have our plan for our 90 days, to just stick the course and not be distracted what is on the plan, the strategic plan, the 90-day plan, but they think that they can't have it because they're not getting immediate satisfaction. And so then they get kind of bad, icky feelings about it because they're not seeing immediate gratification, immediate results. So that's what they then base their decisions off, not where they want to go, but base their decisions off where they are now. And this gets me so frustrated. All right. Deep breath, Annalise. So what we're going to talk about today is 3 things that are really important when we're thinking about our goals and we're feeling frustrated and we're feeling like we're going to give it up, or we're going to start something new, or we're going to try this, or, when we're feeling kind of some way about it. And the first thing we're going to do is be disciplined. Now, this word, I know people hate it, but guess what? It's not about feeling motivated. It's not about feeling motivated. You need to be disciplined to actually work out what you said you were going to do. And that can be really hard. It's really, really hard, right? But you need to be disciplined to actually work the plan, right? Create the plan, work the plan. And when I'm talking about being disciplined, it means that you need to build things into your plan that are going to set you up for success. So if you don't have a strategy, if you do not have a business strategy that is moving you, that you are following, that has your big rocks, that has your, daily actions, that has your messaging, that has all of that, then please get in touch with me. If you feel like that is something that you need, get in touch with me and we can organize that. There, you can apply to work with us. It's annalisewarren.com/consult. You can book a call with me and let's see what that next step is for you. Now, once you have the strategy, having the strategy really feels good, right? You're like, oh yeah, I got my roadmap. This is how I'm going to do. And it feels good to have the plan, but it doesn't feel good to actually every day wake up and do the things on the list, right? I have been there. I know I am human. Not every day do I feel like doing what I know I need to do to grow my business. It's just part of being human. We're not always going to feel like it. Now, that is not the same as doing something that is not in integrity, right? Those are different things, but your strategy is created that in a way that works with where you are, works with your gifts, works with your talents, works with your audience and your offerings, and really refines that. And so you've created that and you've birthed that out of what you know is good for you, what you're going to enjoy. It's still going to be work. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. And so just having that on your calendar and working the plan is what needs to happen. And it's really hard for all of us, but there are some things that we can do to make that a little easier. And so building into that plan, personal growth. So this is number 2, right? Number 1 is having discipline, having a plan in the first place, right? We need to have that. Number 2 is personal growth. Our business is a product of us. We need to carry our businesses. We are birthing our business. We are holding it. We are driving it forward. And so our business is only going to be as big as we can carry it. And in order to carry more, we need to get better. We need to get stronger. We need to be more resilient. We need to grow. And so if we aren't consistently investing in personal growth, professional growth, then our business is not going to grow. It doesn't matter. We can do all of the things. It's only going to come out of and be a product of where we are right now. If we want our business to move upwards, we need to move upwards. We need to grow. Our roots need to get deeper in order for our business to flourish. So that might look like so many different things depending on where your business is right now. Maybe that's around leadership. Maybe that's around, discipline. Maybe it's around having more energy. Maybe it's around having courage. Maybe it's around, there's so many different aspects. Maybe it's around getting really great at marketing. Maybe it's around, conflict resolution. There are so many different things it might be, and only a coach is going to really be able to see your blind spots. We all have blind spots. And so that's why we always need a coach or a mentor of some description that is, putting the finger on those bits that are a little bit tender and helping us to focus where our personal growth is at any one time. And so embedding that into your plan, right? I talk about the 7 systems, and then well-being is one of them. And part of well-being is personal growth. So do not discount this fact. Don't think that you can just, be really great at what you do and then somehow magically be a great business owner and leader. That doesn't happen. It is a skill that needs to be cultivated. And so that leadership, those leadership skills are something that we all need to work on. And maybe you think you're not a leader, but you are. You are a leader. If you have your own business, then you are a leader. This is for the crazies, right? You are doing something different. You are treading your own path. You are leading. So don't discount and be like, oh, it's just this, or it's just, no, you are a leader. And so in order to grow that skill, you need to be invested in personal development. All right. Number 3 is managing your energy. This is so important. This is so important. We have to manage our energy because our energy is going to determine how we show up, when we show up, what we do when we show up, and it's going to affect how people feel when they interact with us. Let me say that again because it's really important. It's going to affect how people feel when they interact with us. Right. So, when you're around people that are super energetic and that's contagious and you feel great and you're smiling and, you kind of can't help it. And those people you love to be around, it's because of their energy. And in contrast with the people that, the slumped shoulders and yeah, I'm okay. And, those people suck energy or drain energy. They are not life-giving. And therefore, if you are going to be a leader, you need to have energy. And that doesn't mean you've got to be an extrovert and you've got to talk a million miles a minute, or you've got to, be not you, but you with energy versus you high energy versus you low energy. That is going to be really highly contrasted. And in order to maintain our high energy, we have to be looking after our bodies. Right? We have to be looking after our bodies and our brains. So our bodies, we have to prioritize sleep and nutrition and hydration and movement. 4 things. And we have to, like, it's not a non-negotiable. It's not a negotiable. It's not something that you can just do one time, or that you can just do one day. This is something that for every single person must be a priority in your life if you are going to have a fulfilling life. You have to look after this area. You have to be selfish about it. You have to be really, really selfish about it. Right? I'm recording this on a couple of days when I have literally sent my family away for 2 days. 2 full days, 48 hours. I've sent them away. I was going to go on a retreat and I had booked somewhere, but I decided I would actually prefer to just be at home by myself. And so I sent them away. Why? Because I needed the time. I wanted the time to recharge, to be with myself, to fill up my cup. Like, I'm a mama of 4. I have a business. I have 2 businesses. We're homeschooling 2 of them, right? And yes, I have an amazing supportive husband, and yes, I embed this into my everyday, but it's been so long since I've been alone for any, more than just an hour at the gym. And so that's what I really wanted. I really craved it. And so guess what? I asked for it and I made it happen. And I'm not saying that, maybe your circumstances are different and that's really hard for you. I've wanted this for like 2 years, to be honest, but, was breastfeeding and then, had really busy time in the business and, it just wasn't feasible. I've been away for different things, business retreats and stuff like that, but it wasn't just me. And so this is what I'm doing to manage my energy, as well as focusing on my sleep, my nutrition every day, and moving and all of that. But this affects how you sell. It affects how you sell. It affects how your clients feel. It affects your results with your clients. So managing your energy first and foremost is like the most important thing that you will do in your business, because you cannot do anything from that depleted state. You cannot show up powerfully and compete in this marketplace and be there as the woman that you want to be in your relationships, for your clients, for your kids, in all of that, without looking after yourself. So make the time. It's not, no one else is going to put it on your calendar. You have to make the time for yourself. Okay, so the 4th one is get yourself around life-giving people. Like I mentioned, we are entrepreneurs, and this is not for the faint of heart. I probably say this every episode, right? Entrepreneurship is really hard. It can be really, really hard if we are doing it alone. If we are doing it alone, it's really hard. So get yourself around people who get it, right? Whether that's in a paid capacity or whether that is, some friends that also have their own businesses, but get yourself around people who are making your goals feel normal and worth it and achievable, right? Get yourself around people who are also making these crazy decisions and putting their money on the line and, and risking things and stepping out and all of those things, because that behavior, if it isn't normalized, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it in the capacity that you would if you're around people who are making that normal. This is why things like masterminds are so powerful, because you're all kind of working towards a common goal, especially if you have a coach that is where you want to be, but just a little bit ahead, right? Or a lot ahead. Because that way, if everyone in the group is going for this one thing, then you're all doing really similar stuff. You can learn from each other's mistakes. You can encourage one another. You're all in that same position of making really similar, scary decisions, because it doesn't matter what level you're at. It doesn't matter if you're just starting your business, if you've just made your 10K month, if 20K months are the norm, if you're after the 7 figures, it doesn't matter. At each stage, there are going to be different roadblocks, different gates that you have to walk through, right? Your first ad campaign, your first hire, your first you firing your first person, launching your podcast. Like, there's so many different things that you're going to be doing on that roadmap that you don't want to do that alone, because it's scary enough. It's really scary enough. So get yourself around people. And if you are a digital business owner, a solo digital business owner, and you want to start building a team, then we have our CEO incubator that works with those kind of women. So yes, it is exclusive to women at this point. It is for women, solo service providers who have a successful business, who are working and who have clients, and who want to now get a system in place so that they can step out of the day-to-day and step into the role of CEO. So if that is you, then book a call with me and let's chat about what your next step might be. So annalisewarren.com/consult is the link for that. So they are the 4 things, right? If you're feeling really frustrated, and if you are just wanting to kind of put the whole thing in the bin and start again, please don't. Create a strategy that really aligns with how much you want to work, how much you want to earn, what you love to do. Create a strategy with a strategist, right? Even if you implement it by yourself, that's totally fine, but come up with something that does think a little bit broader than maybe you think yourself. Like we talked about the coach and the blind spots, right? There is a difference when you get that second perspective who is not attached to the money or the time or the clients. And a great strategist is going to tell you things maybe you don't want to hear. They're going to have ideas that, kind of shake the tree a little bit that maybe you hadn't have thought of. And so I encourage you to do that with someone who is further along than you, or has worked with clients and has actual proven results with clients that are further along than you. And then once you have the plan, discipline is the thing that we need, because we're not going to feel motivated all the time. We aren't. We're busy. We've got stuff to do. We need the strategy to align with that. We're never going to do it if it doesn't align, but we have to be disciplined to actually outwork what we said we were going to do. And then we need to work on our personal development. How are we growing as a person? How are we developing our leadership skills? What is it that, this entrepreneurial journey has unearthed in us that is something that we are avoiding, or that it doesn't feel so great? How are we working on that thing? Number 3, how are we managing our energy, right? How are we managing our energy? How are we looking after our physical body? How are we looking after our mind? How are we cultivating that motivation every day, not just waiting for it to happen? How are we cultivating it? What are we reading? What are we focusing on? What are we journaling? What are those practices? How can we manage our energy? And then who are we around, right? That saying that we are the sum of the 5 people that surround us is so flippin' true. It's so true. I've seen it time and time again. And in myself, I know if I hang around certain people, I change, my perspective changes, and my goals change, and what I allow into my life or what I don't pull into my life changes. And so really think about, who are you getting yourself around, and how are you putting yourself in the place that is going to make your goals inevitable. Because if you keep showing up, if you have that discipline, if you are always working on yourself, if you are managing your energy and you are around people who are cheering you on, who are also working towards that goal, who are further along than you maybe, or where you are making those same decisions, and you keep going, you cannot fail. This thing's in the bag, baby. You cannot fail. So I hope that this resonates. I really hope this lands. Business doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be complicated. Our strategy can be really bloody simple. It can be really simple, but nothing's going to work if we don't keep showing up. Nothing's going to stick. We're not going to see any results if we don't keep on going. It's that compounding effect that builds the business. That's where the results are, the compounding effect. Just doing, throwing spaghetti at the wall every now and then, not going to cut it. Actually not going to cut it. It's the compounding effect, the showing up and the showing up and the showing up that make a difference. And this is how you make that happen. This is how you make it happen. All right, rant over. Love you lots. See you on the next one.